Okay, so I've heard a lot of you say that when you're single, you feel fine, secure, normal, and then when you get into a relationship, that's when you just start getting super anxious or avoidant and you just lose your mind, essentially. So I used to say the same thing, that I was so secure, so confident, so, got it together when I'm single. And then as soon as I would get with someone, I would lose myself. I would become super anxious. I would become controlling. I would become the worst version of myself. So then obviously I've been reflecting on this healing journey on why that is. So it was obvious the first reason that we talk about here is my childhood trauma. I had unhealed childhood trauma. That was a given. And then the second thing that I learned is that I was just using the single time in between relationships as just a waiting period for the next disaster, essentially. Instead of really reflecting on what went wrong in my last relationship, how I contributed to it, why I attracted that person, all these really, important details, I just was waiting and blaming and just waiting to be chosen by someone again. And the trauma kept building up and making me more and more insecure and desperate. And so that lowered my vibration lower and lower, which means I attracted someone who was also on that low vibration, hence trauma bond, hence toxic relationships. And then the third thing that I realized through reflecting on why I felt like I had it all together and I was good when I was single, but then when I would get into a relationship, I would fall apart, was that I didn't look as closely at the toxicity in my friendships when I was single. Toxic relationships are not just confined to romantic relationships, as we all know. So I really had to start looking at the toxicity in my friendships. And once I saw all these different things from a different perspective, I realized that no, I wasn't more secure when I was single. It just didn't look as crazy because I wasn't romantically connected, but the relationship with my friends was also toxic and unhealthy. So the bottom line is we're never really truly secure and confident with ourselves until we do this work. A lot of us are wearing masks even when we're single and we got it together. We really are insecure deep down. We really don't feel good about ourselves deep down. We really feel less than deep down. We're really comparing ourselves all the time deep down. We really are just waiting to get into a relationship so that we think we can feel adequate. If you think that you're secure when you're single and then every time you get into a relationship you fall apart, you're not secure when you're single. You're just not doing the work when you're single.